Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Cardano chart and the Bitcoin chart, and we start straight away with just some news really, but I think it's not really new news, but it's come out a few days ago. I just really wanted to reinforce that message because I haven't really spoken about it on this channel about IOG and basically the Cardano team making or starting the process to make Cardano resistance against quantum attacks. If you haven't heard about this, these are basically attacks that could potentially come out of the process of quantum computing in the next few years. I think we're still a few years away from that, but obviously because blockchains are made and all the cryptography behind it and everything, all of that is basically built on current technology. But the thing is that quantum computers, because they're just so much faster, they can just process so much more complex tasks than normal, let's call them normal conventional computer systems. There is a valid concern that quantum computers or quantum systems could really attack blockchains. One of them obviously being Cardano, but also Bitcoin and so on. And the idea was always that, you know, when we get closer towards that, there will also be the technology to make blockchains quantum resistant, or against, you know, resistance against quantum attacks. But really, I think Cardano are one of the first teams really, or IOG one of the first teams really focusing on that. And that is just one more reason why I think that Cardano in the next few years will become the standard, will become a standard, right? I think it won't be the only one, of course. There will be various blockchains. I believe in the multi-chain in the future. There will be different systems coexisting, but Cardano will have a strong stance, even though people are starting to doubt Cardano and everything with all the FUD that is going around and so on. But no, I really always found it a very strong aspect of Cardano's approach and IOG's approach is that really looking at everything from a scientific point of view. They make sure that issues and errors don't just turn up. Yeah, that's why we have the long processes with test nets and so on. And I mean, you see it all over again that different blockchains have attacks, they're being hacked, you know, there are bugs here and there, and you know, nothing too significant so far, even though there have been significant issues. But in the recent past, I don't think there was anything too major, but nevertheless, these issues turn up here and there, and haven't heard anything negative on Cardano. I mean, it will be able, you know, it can happen, it can happen certainly, but they are really in the process of making sure it doesn't happen through their approach, which I think is very, very strong. Just that as a starting point here, really. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin, a little bit of a run up today, but we are at key resistance at the moment again. So it's these small resistances that Bitcoin really can't get. Did I say Cardano or Bitcoin? That Bitcoin can't really get through at the moment, like here, the 50K level. So we've come all the way up again to nearly 50K and we just haven't come through. Well, you could argue 50K is not a small resistance. That's true. It's quite a significant actually. But yeah, I mean, in the last few days, we've been above it, right? We've been here between the 6th of December and the 8th of December and the 9th. We've really been above 50K. Since then, we've been below it, really, but making higher highs here and possibly being able to push through in the next few hours or even days. You can see that we're currently at this tipping point here at this key level, and I make the line white. That's where we are, making higher highs here, possibly in an ascending triangle. It looks like an ascending triangle here, really pushing up higher and just building up for this breakout, really. And this looks good, actually. I mean, it's not like here where we suddenly had a try to move through, but we were already getting probably nearly overbought here. Now, this is a solid move up here, and with this ascending triangle, we could really push through in the next few hours or a couple of days. And that is also what I primarily expect, as you know, that we are going higher here and we'll possibly get into this yellow target area. This is still what I think is primarily going to happen. And again, two reasons for that. First of all, because we are moving sideways here at the moment and we are making some strange moves, ups and downs, looks a bit chaotic, looks a bit choppy. That all speaks for a wave B. You know, you come down in a wave A, B, and wave C is the final sell-off. And the wave B is always a bit unpredictable, looks a bit choppy, hard to identify, which all speaks for that. And also, as long as we stay above 47K, everything is still looking and pointing towards that wave B. So we are going to go, in my view, still primarily into this target area between, you know, 55K and 63k, right? That is still what I primarily expect. As soon as we drop below 47k, I would be more in favor of an initial or a move down straight away without going the long way to the wave B. But you know, we will talk about that as soon as we actually break the 47k level, if it happens. But first of all, primarily, I do expect that move up here into that target area that I just mentioned, especially if we break here above 50k. But the last time we were around 50k, I think we spent there a long time. That wasn't here, but that was, yeah, also here before we actually broke through. Had a long sideways move between the 1st of October and the 4th of October. Well, really only 3 days really. But then here had a very long period between the 20th of August and the 5th of September. So that was like 2 weeks that we spent in this area before we then broke down. And again, you know, sideways moves generally, whenever you get a sideways move, after that, you normally have a strong move in one direction. So we had that last time here, up here, 29th of November to the 3rd of December, really only 3 to 4 days, but here as well, you had a strong move after that. That's the last time we could really observe that. So after every sideways move, one example up here as well, so long sideways move, consolidation, in the beginning of November, then you have that strong move in one direction. In this case, I would actually expect a strong move up. So let's see if that happens. But both scenarios, even if you go the long way up first and then down or down straight away, they all point towards much lower prices between 20 and 30k. Cardano, no, this was not Cardano. Just need to open the Cardano chart. Let's do that if we see anything new really, but nothing really exciting. What is interesting is that we broke out of this pattern here. So we were in this channel down, long channel down. I mean, you can clearly see that this was a channel. Could probably also draw a different pattern here that looked more like a descending wedge in the end. But that was more on the short term. So there you go. You had this descending wedge here. Make it another color so you can see it better. But that was really only the short-term view. The overall long-term view, you see that we were in a channel, very clear channel, a descending trend line down here as support and descending trend line as resistance. And then as we came to the 125 level here, that important Fib level, that 0.887 Fibonacci retracement level, we were starting to go a little bit here horizontal. And then we tried to break through to the downside fake out, and that pushed us up. Pushed us out of this descending wedge, which is rather a bullish pattern. And again, all this points towards a descending wedge is actually that the sellers can't really push the price much lower again, you know, and then you normally get that breakout. Not, you know, more often than not, you get a breakout to the upside. Now that happened. We also then broke out of this channel here, and we are now retesting it from above, which is actually good news, which means we broke out of this channel as well. And then hopefully Bitcoin gets through the 50k, that will allow us then also here to build a buffer between the Cardano price and the and the $1 level. You know, $1 level I think is like a magical level here for Cardano. We don't want to lose that. We've got the 20-day moving average here. If we go up here and start to build that buffer, 2 key resistance areas waiting for us. 146 is the Fib level that we have here on the chart, which is the 0.786 Fib level at 145, 146. And that's just above the 20-day moving average at 152. But that's obviously a descending one going down lower. I think very, very important level anyway is the 175 level. We will most certainly can expect some very strong resistance at 175. Got some significant highs here that we didn't get through before. And yeah, I think we are going to face some serious resistance there when we go up. But first of all, we need to make it higher. We need to make it above that previous high here at basically at 146, and then we are free to move towards first of all I think 163 here, and then 175. These are key resistance levels. On the downside, key support, I mean, we've got here the $1.16 level and then $1 pretty much. And if we zoom out to the weekly, so if you go to the weekly, you can actually see that previous high from the last major bull cycle that was pretty much $1 as well. Yeah, so looking here at the weekly, you've got a long wick here coming up all the way up to 140. Where's that? 140, that's there. But on the weekly, you do have this closing weekly candle at pretty much $1. So that is very important. That shows how important the dollar level is. And Bitcoin, oh no, sorry, not Bitcoin, but Cardano found so often support at the $1 level. Let's just hope it will hold it. And also we can draw a support line here from all these previous lows, which actually always made slightly higher lows here with the wicks. And again, we couldn't get through that to the downside. Even this time we couldn't. So yeah, it is an important support level. That's sitting currently at 112, 113. So that 115 level that I just mentioned, it is very relevant. So that's the previous low, but then it's a slightly ascending trend line, this orange one. So next time we hit it, will be a little bit higher, which is really, really good. So that's pretty much on Cardano. Just need to wait again, what is Bitcoin doing? And good news, we broke out of this channel and the descending wedge, and we just need to move higher now through these resistance levels that I just gave you. Can have a fine look at the ADA BTC chart maybe before we finish the video. And then for all channel members, don't forget there will be a live stream today again at 17:00 UTC. And here we can see we lost support again. Yeah, so here on this channel as well, we've got a channel here, slightly descending wedge, you know, slightly converging trend lines here. But also here we yesterday we reclaimed that horizontal support line at 2700. Now we lost it again. So we're just below that, as we couldn't get through the channel to the upside. So that's just where we are. I think we're going to continue probably to move here along, but we really need that breakout to the upside. And again, it's still that 20-day moving average that, and you know, it is that 20-day moving average that is holding the price down here. The ADA BTC price constantly continues to do that, and it has really been strong resistance since we started that downtrend here. That's just worth mentioning. As soon as we break above that, I think we can get that breakout to the upside. It was the last time it was exactly the same. Just now we are much lower on ADA BTC. So that's the Cardano video. Hope you liked it. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.